Hanshi Polander. If you could just give a brief introduction of your time with Taika and so forth, and what organization you're with, that'd be great.
I started Ryukyu Kempo Karate in 1988. Believe it or not, first introduction was George Dillman. I trained at his dojo in Reading, Pennsylvania, a couple classes. I ran the classes for him as well. After that, when I learned that he studied from Oyata sensei, I asked, who is Oyata sensei? And somebody mentioned, well, this is this unique guy who can walk on top of the water like Jesus. I said, what? So I searched where is the next seminar in 1989. I learned there was a January seminar with Hanshi Gary Scholl and Jim Locke in Jim Locke Dojo. So I drove up there, and that's where I met my dear friend Gary Scholl and a bunch of other senior students of Taika. And they've been very friendly and very welcome, very helpful with somebody who comes from strong sport karate. They introduced me for the first time to classical version of life protection arts. I got hooked first time. I just realized how much there is. I thought that I know 80% of the art when I was 25 years old. When I just learned that, I barely scratched the surface. So I got passionately involved, and my education from Poland, I was at the best physical fitness university, and the subject was martial arts. So, I was in the junior Olympic team for judo. I thought karate classes on my own, learn from the books, from the films. Everyone tried to be inspired by Bruce Lee. America opened so much of possibilities for me. I pay my respect in Seattle at the graveyard of Bruce Lee. I traveled United States, study with the best of the best from sport, karate, and then I settled with Oyata because I choose that he is the best in the world with an unbelievable knowledge, passion, and his was old way of samurai-like. And I bet that every one of you guys felt the same way. There was no slag with Oyata sensei. He was as strong, as brutal, if you're talking about bunkai, because he took this seriously. There was no bullshit talk. It was one move, one, done, over. Techniques extremely powerful, extremely precise. What fascinated me maybe the most is the depth of understanding of the forms. I come across the sport karate, which forms are done for development of the speed, body, stance, and then another person put it in music, so they feel more of a fluid and happy like. Well, that was not the case of Oyata sensei, because every small movement of his wrist or foot covered the hidden motion behind it. And I love to visit him in his house, especially when he was a little bit older gentleman, and he was sitting in his shorts and undershirt, and he was doing stuff with his hands, with his feet. Occasionally I heard, Robin, come over, punch. And he was doing stuff on the Robin. When she was laughing at him, then he asked some other person to join. He was always challenging his mind and ability, and he was always developing. He never stood. When we go to Teaneck, New Jersey, we train, it was always new stuff. And it was amazing because I didn't miss even one seminar on the East Coast. And I have to tell you, I was overwhelmed. 25 years, and this guy had gold dust. Every time I came home with some new small ideas, which was fascinating to work on. So that's maybe it. After Taika passes in 2012, I move on. I study with different martial artists whose opinion was very prestigious. I ended up with people who maybe today they are not in the best standards in the martial arts world. Sensei Wingro from Great Britain. He took me to a different approach a little bit, which was closer to Oyata sensei. Also extremely effective penetrational techniques. I ended up later on under Hokama sensei. Met him a couple times in Okinawa training and researching. What was interesting about the Hokama sensei, after visiting his dojo in early 20s, he was just ordinary traditional karateka. In 2004, when we visited his dojo, his approach changed because I didn't have a chance to see him to probably 2016. He was a different practitioner. He was doing all kinds of pressure points, not too much maybe to it, more of an Aikido approach than our system with Oyata sensei. So it was very fascinating that he didn't stop, he grew, and he today, it's one of the leading authority on martial arts, with Luis Morales, one of his representatives here in the United States, who's going to be a part of Hands of Okinawa. So it was fascinating to see the progress and different points of view to similar movements. Today, I have only, 45 minutes. It's impossible to take the pleasure of exploring Pinan's kata. I was asked to do Pinan Shodan. Maybe one day we'll go through all of them. There's lots of message there. One of the students asked about the footwork in the Hanshi kata and crossing. Was that correct? I just logged in. Somebody asked about Hanshis, yes?
Yes, Kaz did.
Okay, so as Hanshi language mentioned, there is a lot of controversy, or maybe not. It's just, what does that mean? Well, my experience with Hokama and with Taika, first message was in China a long time ago. Masters stayed on wooden poles and they walk for a balance of it from the pose to pose. So when you cross the feet, Oyata sensei explained to me, it is one of imaginary, like you're standing on a wooden pose, like Chinese training. Then on top of that, Taika Oyata, I don't know if you guys know that, but he was third-degree black belt in judo. So in judo, you use the footwork which sweep the feet. And on various occasions, when he followed up with upper body, my foot was sweep as well to lose the balance. So he explained that as you cross over, that could be also the foot sweep that I endure during the classes with him. You know what? I'm going to put my glasses because otherwise I'm like a bat. I want to make sure that. So the footwork, when we did this motion, and we have that later on in kata that we do advanced form. So those are striking. Cross is a symbol which can be foot sweep or kick in the leg. This is similar motion. So just to share that with you, you can kick with the heel, vital point. So all over the back of your leg, and I didn't shave my legs today, so I'm sorry. All of this area, if you strike, you can research. So the forearm, it's a build similar to the leg, vital points, blood vessels, and there is a way to numb and make your leg, your muscle to spasm when you kick correctly. So the motion of the footwork, for example, in Hanshi is heel goes first. Well, what does that mean? You kick on the back of the opponent leg, you numb it. Yeah, so foot sweep, that's how I was explained. So it's very powerful. If you destroy the foundation of the kata, upper body, it's too weak. Then we're talking about energy. Taika didn't like chi. He wrote in his book, couple pages, what does mean chi energy? Well, if you go further out to China, the energy is a very big part of the movement. Taika explained the chi energy as a combined energy that you develop over the years, and it grows with you if you treat it right. So the punch can be developed, blacks can be, atemi strikes can be developed. So the chi, it is not something that you can bend the metal spoon with, but it's a natural ability. As you progress, you develop your muscles, your energy, grow with that muscles, grow with your body. So it's very important to understand first way to study that is a basic punch. Basic punch, arm, elbow down, twist, rotate out. When you do that, it forces your elbow down. So it's very important. This is a basic. Many systems stop on that level, did not explore because of the lack of knowledge or for any other reason. So this is what I am back, pull back, twist, very basic. Next thing is, after I develop fist, I relax fist. There is a space. On each punch, I squeeze. Squeeze, that means I'm sending the energy from the mind and I focus my mind on the squeeze. So this is another empty thing, but this is the first step of study, flow of energy, control of energy, because it is part of martial arts. So as you develop the strength through the speed and fluidity of the movement, you develop the energy. And we're going to demonstrate that in different areas today. So that's, I guess, enough talk. I'm going to start my class because time is flying. So if you want to work out with me or just watch, I'm going to start the way I start all of my sessions. Ready? Kyosuke position. Dojokun 1, strive for a good moral character. 2, keep an honest and sincere way. 3, cultivate perseverance or willful striving. 4, develop respectful attitude. 5, restrain physical aggression for spiritual attainment. Oyata Shinshuho, to strive to attain true moral goodness and to express it through one's every action. Great. Oyata Sensei, great. All right, so I would highly recommend everybody to go research the way Taika inspire you to develop strong punching technique. It is basic, it is fundamental. Without proper punch, you're not going to be effective. Because all of this, it's related to the forms that you're going to do. So Pinyan Shodan, first Pinyan. Itotsu Sensei, yes, he took that from, who knows, there's many theories. But what we want to do is concentrate, what was the purpose? It was the beginning of the end of martial arts as a life protection arts. It was a beginning of the new era, traditional karate, new era, which was introduced to the public schools as a physical education. That means it has to be safe for a young student to develop and to make sure that they can practice without killing or hurting themselves. However, Taika explained that movements are similar to what he saw the other grandmasters were doing advanced. So we can find similarities. So what we are going to do right now is the beginning of Pinyan Shodan. So after yoik position, I always do elbow strike, right leg out. This is a basic, please, basic, not advanced. Next one, I combine the energy of the spine muscle. When somebody is attacking you from behind, you have to be able to combine. If your hands don't connect, you don't have a strength. The energy is not there. So dropping the fist, connecting pinky bone, and I push forward to yoik position. If you do one motion, you're losing the strength. If you do connect motion, you're a little bit better. But there is a catch. Fluctuation of the energy is very important. And you will find this in advanced Hanshi Nida. When you studied with Oyata Sensei, we study, okay, symbol. But as you progress, you know that one hand goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you have a different angles of striking, and hands are not really same. Okay, but the basic, we're going to leave it same just so we understand what is going on. So as I drop my face, energy goes 45 down. When somebody grabs me berhak, I press the hands away to create the space. Next motion, heels. In martial arts, heels are extremely important. So we're going to see the heel movement for a very important reason. Heel movement influence your knees, hip, shoulder. If you do not put your heels in motion, you're going to use upper body energy, which is too weak. It may be fast, but you don't have the power of the body, so you're not going to be able to have the power of the technique. So Taika, before he passed 5 years, he was doing website exercises. And you know very well how much prostrate at this movement, move back. It doesn't sound real, but if you move this to maybe 1 inch, whole body is forced to move. And it's very important because without your heel, you're going to be like a robot. You're not going to be able to do the advance and fluidity of the motions. So the heels, right leg out. Now if I do neck abduction, I move my toes to align with the heel. Yes, now my hands are like that. So if you pay attention, one of the arm is shorter. Yes, so arm is short, it's not the same. I'm not forcing, I'm natural. Natural, it's a couple inches upper body. The next motion from that is strike. Basic, please remember basic. So this movement, up motion. How to do it correctly? Well, memorization, straight arm. Well, that was explained. When we do face block, you don't want to see top of your head. Because one of the escapes is you go under opponent arm, so it needs to be above your head. Face block. This is a face block. So how do we do face block? Well, if you watch Bruce Lee movies or other people, that's the face block. Really, is it? No, it is not. It's a punch. So same like I covered at the beginning, punch motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. This is also a punch. To be able to catch fast approaching arm, you have to be able to strike. Relax needs to be converted to offense attack. So the angles are a little bit different. So please look. I punch. I punch. Twisting the fist, forcing elbow out. So I don't concentrate elbow because I want to get to that, but I concentrate on the speed to catch arm. So I punch, and then I twist down, and I twist the elbow, fist 45 angle. So obviously that was shown me by Oyata sensei, and that's how many aspects of the movement I'm going to introduce you is to influence your natural body motions and ability to very fast defend yourself. This movement helps you to develop small tendons to protect your elbow, to protect your shoulders. There is many things happening. But same like Hanshi, elbow is connected to the body. Yes, so you can have a pin here stuck. And you, as you twist the fist, elbow goes out. So similar is this motion. Now to strike up correctly, what we want to do is bring the arms to 90 degrees angle. So from this position, I bring my arms 90 degrees and then wave over the body and strike. Wave of the body. If you observe Olympians how to lift the heavy weight. Yes, so they don't do that way. Wave of the body. Boom. Yes, so similarity is, I want to sting opponent. So I want to be able to develop maximal power on a connection with the body flesh. So when I train that, hi, align, now heel, body, hip. So the striking is devastating to the area of my interest. So I'm going to just cover this one more time. From your align, strike, strike, strike. Heel out, I am moving behind the opponent. Keep the hands, now 90 degrees, strike, 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 pull it. Difference between Yondan and Godan. And it's just, you know, there's a lots of similarities between Shodan and Yondan kata, I'm sorry. Lots of patterns same, hence lots of similarities. Some approach mixing advanced and basic. And the reason is to develop basic, which will help you to advance motion, which are extremely challenging. So if you have too many of the gaps, and that was when we train with Oyata sensei, we have a 5 or 7 version of basics. And you go to somebody else's dojo, somebody else have a different approach. It was very frustrating to train together. So what I did is put motion which will influence advanced motion. So from this position, we're going, maybe I will just demonstrate a couple of times. I have a sensei, Chris. Okay. So, opponent, I align, yes, I'm striking position, and you're going to attack. So, oof. So moving body, striking. movement is guided by the wrist motion. So as I go, wrist fluctuate, very important. So my fist is concentrating on knuckles as I strike. What did I strike is area above collarbone. There is a nerve. To penetrate that, there is a little bit of difficulties, because I hurt myself and many times trying to find out what am I doing wrong? Why? This is very weak spot. So as you probably know, the exercise is up, up, down, down motion. So this is a striking, yes? So one strike on the elbow and the other strike on the top of the wrist. Very easy to break those bones. Yes, many situations when you have that situation, Pasai, for example, yes, so the striking on top. So that can be, look, I'm going to activate this area and then relax and strike. But also what you could do is strike and rub. So this is very tough. There's lots of weaknesses. Going back to that strike motion, this is what I do. 45 angle, and a trick to that is not to break your knuckles. You have to have a positive, negative energy. How to develop? When you punch, hand is divided by two areas. Like Star Trek New Generation. And Oyata Sensei Taika explained this. Look, this is positive. No, negative, positive. So at the beginning of the punch, you hold the face that way. And also not my ideas. When you develop, they are great. Okay, so you punch, he said, this is speed when you tie those fingers. When you switch, that is the energy power, penetration. So when you go to the flash, extension, penetration, energy goes forward. If we have a solid fist and we punch, energy comes back. If you're able to understand the flow energy, energy could be like your power. You want to make sure that this power goes forward, goes away, does not goes back. So as you strike, this needs to fluctuate high. The other hand obviously does other things. So as you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the striking motion needs to be properly developed. Hand flow of the energy. So as we strike, I squeeze top of the fingers and then I open. Why? When you strike hard surface, yes, I work first on Makiwara, then I have a metal door, which there was a two surface, very hard, and on top of there was a shield, which gives just a little bit, but still there was a metal door. So when I punch all of my knuckles, I used to have a big Kyokushinkai knuckles, they cave in. And I was very upset because I couldn't show off anymore. That was a joke. So anyway, what I did on the end, as I connect with metal doors punching, I opened the hand. So the energy was going through. And that was part of the, later on when I developed striking the hard areas, how to do it so I don't get hurt. So you can try it with yourselves. Okay. So striking this first motion, it's up, yes? It's very stinging like, because you see electricity going all over. Next motion as an atemi strike, it's one motion, two, striking, two, striking, two. So this is similarities from high, yes? And when the opponent strikes, outside and then inside, yes? So those motions are similar striking, okay? One, then 1, 2. This strike is a little bit different. If you take top of the funny bone and you strike gently sideways. It's a devastating pain. Okay, if you do it right, you know, oh crap, we just lost the hand. So this motion, this is hooking. So when the fist it's forming, the level of the fist it's higher here. Striking in that part with the top of the knuckles. Okay, very effective. So the part of the striking is also how to do it to inflict tremendous pain or breakage of the bone. Please remember, all of the concepts are from Taika Oyata. Without his guidance, nothing will happen. I will probably do all cool martial arts. So we cover that motion. So as we go to the other side, next is going to be pull push. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. But I think if you understand the 45 angles and pulling, there is a tuite there, there's a choke there. One of the bunkais that it's very effective, especially on MMA people, because it's done and it's fast motion. So when opponent starts, you keep tight, strike down. So the putting slow motion. I put the heel out, put the feet together. Now my shoulder align, my right shoulder align with his left shoulder. What does that mean? That means that I'm out of his reach, but adjusting upper body, I reach the opponent. On top of that, my left side, it's 45 angle to strike. And that's the secret to 45 angle. So movement, one, you can strike, and then the motion is same like we talk about crossing the leg. Well, crossing his leg, it's this. Yes, next motion, strike. Next motion, choke. Next motion, break the neck. Yes. Angles are very important. Exposing of the blood vessels, very important. We're working blood vessels and a weak spot on the back of your neck, which is your spine, vertebrae. Breaking the neck, it's very easy. Angle 45. To action. Hi. So this motion is also considered as one of the knife and when an opponent is down motion. Yes, so I do it this break. Okay. This is that. Top of the bone. If you have a Bubishi book, I don't know if you do, but in Bubishi book on the front page, you have the Chinese monks fighting. One holds fist like that. I said, what the hell? This is completely wrong. Well, this is 1/10 of the second. When you expose, squeeze, build a foundation, this will never be broken. So striking on the temple is very dangerous because you can get a blood clot. You have to, when you train, be very careful. Knife hand of the hand, base, I tap on various points, depends when I strike, I don't know, but it's a jaw. So when I do, I tap with 90 degrees with the base. And then that looks like a knife hand from peanuts. So that's one aspect. Choking, another. There's choking motion in a Hanshi skata everywhere. Wherever you go, you can develop. Very important because if you know what you're doing, it's when you do have a kibarachi, after you take the opponent down and he's not knocked down or dead, he's going to go on one of the legs. Example, yes. So movement of kibadachi. I am now look my zenkutsu dachi stand. Kibadachi, sankaku dachi, same space, relates to whatever I do and how I go from the angle and striking motion. So if I do my Hanshi showdown, I train not here because his head and neck is exactly solar plexus level. So the pull motion, it's hooking, pulling, hooking, pulling. How do we do attacks? Taika quite often talk, and I'm sure you guys remember about technique called yoyu or toru, which means remove the slack. Okay, removing a slack, make the tendons muscle tight, vital points stretch, and less strike on the point will do tremendous effect. And that's the point of doing this martial arts, because pulling skin, make it tight, it brings much more effect on your technique. 1 second. So we cover up to this motion. Next one, we have a kick, yes, yokogeri. So the movements are like everything else. Opponent strikes, you hook it up, and you take the person down. You okay? Yeah. So there is a different ways to do it. I use my back leg. I use my back leg because I want to have a space to drop the opponent. The closer to kata, it's the front leg. Front leg, when I kick the front leg, what I do is kick with the toe. Now look. Yes, so as you probably know, there is a nerve. And the nerve is, if you extend your arms down, it's outside in the middle, and it's inside. Combining the hand, you can penetrate, or toes together. When you kick and strike, it rips your muscles away. Okay, the toe needs to be developed. So same like I strike with the fingers, I kick with my toes. It's easy when you have a shoes on. So you want to penetrate that area. But now I'm going to the slow motion, strike, hook it up, kick, stand up. As face me. Okay, so when I kick, then I turn and push. And Taika kept that leg there on top. Okay, so this is one. Oh, now the hands, there's a various ways to grab. And every one of senior students are familiar with the way you catch the monkey. I'm sure we heard this many times. And it's very important, so I'm going to repeat for students who maybe forgot. Yes, you want to make sure that you never grab forearm. You always grab base of the hand. So those two fingers are very important. This one, that you like so much, and this, and support. So when we grab the hand, if you have a wooden dummy, yes, so the motions are striking motion, outside, inside, hook it up, and now pull it. We want to make sure when you pull, you don't stop. You go as far as you can, because if you control thumb, you control arm. Hanshi kata. When you strike double block, and I work most of you as well, we punch up. Years, we did this. That means that close distance. Close distance, that means he can reach me. This is close distance. So same time he punch, I punch. With my hunches. Next, it's he can reach me. So the purpose of the moving of the heel and study of tuite and atemi strikes is that you are studying an art which is outside of the reach of the opponent. What does that mean? This, it's this. So that's my space. space and energy. How to control the energy. One of the silly exercises is put 2 fingers, raise your arm up. Hard, hard, hard. Don't bend, don't bend. Raise, keep it there. Raise. Keep it, don't jerk, don't jerk. Keep it. Relax. Now look, 1 finger. I take the energy. Ready? Don't let me push down. So what happened? I took his energy away. How did I do that? No, it is not. Really what I do, I commit the top hand muscles by pushing up and now relaxing. I can very easy to take his head down because I trick his energy system. Flow was disrupted, yes? So same time when we attack, arm goes up, down, vibration, he goes up. And then I release. Yes, you can to the other hands to strikes. And it's fast, it's fluid, and breaks down. So we are past the kick, right? After we kick, we have basic motion. So we have this, and that. What's between? Kata, basic kata, especially peanuts, gives us the message at the beginning and on the end. What's between? What makes the technique work? Yes. So this movement, basic, shows you what it is, but it's missing hand. So the strike, it's this way. Boom. This is strike. Taika explained that to me in one of the seminars. Gary Schul was there, Jim Log was there, myself, and it was the white crane strike or ocean turtle strike. So this motion is, again, as I flow back, I move my heel from spider. So I strike on top, striking motion and drop the weight of the body. Drop, vibrates. Yes, so this is that position, slow motion. I raise it up, turn. Raise it up, turn, and strike. Raise it up, turn. One of the aspects of this, it's very important, keep your elbows aligned with the meridians, which goes through your chest muscles in the middle. So the end of the collarbone, down. If your elbows are with the frame of the body, no good. You need to be closer. So you can drop the weight of the body. Why? Because the body motion, when you're here, let's say, you raise the hands to strike, and obviously you move body to get the straight, your arm become outside of the frame of the body, you incorporate wrong muscle, they are not going to follow the drop of the weight on the point when you do it with your body. I hope you understand this. Investigate for yourself. Very slow, motion down, vibration. So after that motion, what we have? One, symbol. What's between? Okay, so ask yourself questions. Somebody's punching you, and you have to defend yourself. This is like somebody shooting a gun at you. Yes? So today, police have a gun, belt, waist, because this is a symbol of law. They are not killers, they are here to protect us. But if you, long time ago, if you're a professional gunfighter, your hand was low. Yes? So you have to readjust the movement. When somebody want to shoot you, they draw hand forward. So if you have to pull back to go forward, you'll be dead. So Taika explained that just like that. Somebody want to punch you, you can't make the mistake. So if you take the hands out of the frame of the body, that's your mistake. You're too slow. So concept of punching, forward, align sandan, we punch shoulder, but then shoulder with the adjustment, it's what? Other side of the opponent body. So what we will do is, as opponent strike, I'm going strike myself. Am I going to wait for him to strike and try to catch his arm when it's halfway there because I know martial arts and I'm damn good at it? No. Soon as motion, I explode. Okay? As soon as motion most of the time comes from what? Shoulder. So if somebody want to punch, first thing you do, shoulder move. So observe. Pupils, sometimes they open a little bit because of the action. So observing that, it's important. Motion, how do we train? Same like Hanshi, punch, punch. Same peanuts. Don't do this like Shodokan karate, but forward recoil. Recoil, it is like throwing the stone on the water. Oyata explained this, that when I punch, my hand comes back to me. I don't punch, I don't send the message pull back. It has to naturally come back to me. So I am in control. When you're able to reach that state and strike angle strikes, you can strike 7 to 9 times under 1 second, various parts. And that training is critical because you just need to be damn fast. So in Pinyan Shodan, after striking motion, we do have at first you concentrate on the top hand because if you put it together, it's very difficult. What I do is blood vessel strikes and then strike on the arm. Blood vessel, penetrate, recoil, twist, strike on the forearm, breaking arm. So it's 1, 2. Looks very similar. It's just you have a symbol here, here, no action between. So the motion in reality is 1, 2, 3. Hand is almost straight. This tap, not force, tap, create a space, strike and strike. Tap, it is creating for me to have an energy forward without closing it. If I punch and leave the arm, this arm it's too short, I can reach. What I need to do is tap, come back, then I can reach. Open the way, open your hip, same concept. How much time do I have?
You have till the top of the hour, but you have 15 minutes after that. So if you go over a bit, we're okay.
Man. Okay, so in case of, basic motion, we have 2 strikes after Nukita, 1, 2. Okay, so what we will do is when opponent punch, I tap, so it's 1, 2, raise it down and strike the opponent. I'm going to go easy. Okay. So this motion is 1, I strike inside also because that make him high. Now this motion, high, then motion, high. Hand needs to be on front of the body like Tomari Sei-san to control the opponent elbow. If we don't do that, you're not going to be able, if somebody is professional and keep the elbows down. And I come across many MMA guys who train and they are covered and they go and they are very tight, very difficult to control the arms. So there is a movement that I do after striking motion, I go inside and tap. So this motion opens, relax, take the person down. One way to apply it to control and squeeze. The squeeze, when I push down, okay, no push, pull your arm. Make an angle, pull your arm. Yes. Now, press on the thumb, pull your arm. That prevents him from bending. Yeah, so this attack on the thumb, it's very critical, and you find this movement in all of the Hanshis. So as let's say I study only with somebody willing for me to train my technique. So I apply the foot, the arm needs to be cut, not on top. Most punching are this way. not that way. Yes, so I need to be able to rotate thumb down to expose the elbow. So many practitioners, they do this way, grab, pull down, and guess what now? You didn't break the elbow, you bend the elbow. So you have to remember that those motions are on the side of the body, on the arm. So you have to have a space to rotate. So as you punch, slow motion, I put down to the side of the body, because then as I take arm down, I rotate. So my hand is straight, and then as I punch, I do yo-yo toru, separate straight bones and straight the tendons. Two ways. Police tactics, you control this by putting 50-50 strength. 50-50, that means body is not damaged. Now, 70 or even 80, 20-30. So I can do it without body weight drop, but a little bit feet. So from that position, I do this. Heel up, down, drop the weight, strike the thumb. Here, 1, 2, 3. So breaking of the arm, it's made before the body hit the floor. I'm going to demonstrate now. It's 2 inches more. But if you do it together, your heel, knee, hip, shoulder, body, and vibration. It's technical, but that's how it is. Okay. So from this position, punch motion, high, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this one is also from the knife hand. Knife hand is done that you do hand on the area where you wanted to strike. So it's not necessary. This is grip under, this is grip on top, this is a symbol. Both of them are work. Yes. So from this position, as I strike motion, high, hook it up. So this, it's very important. Thumb goes under forearm and lift it up. Now, as I punch, look. This is another approach. So sliding arm back, I'm going to hook my thumb on the base of the thumb. So punching forward, not necessarily double block, but when you expose with the elbow in, yes, now look, I'm going punch forward. Same effect, just punch forward. Proper alignment of the hand. Okay, we got this way with knife hand. Knife hand is a kyoshu strike. Could be. So, as the opponent attacks, okay. Stays. Opponent attacks. Alignment of the elbows, which relates to your ankles, heel, and the knees. You have to accumulate proper alignment with the body so you have an interior energy power strike. If you commit upper body, you're not going to get it. It's going to be too weak. You have to be able to align the elbows with the line. Put a hip forward. So same, this is training from the Hanshi showdown. Hip by raising the heel, hip forward, expose, strike. So heel is down. For basic connection, down, advanced, put it together. So when you study punching, your heels are alive. Your arms alive. Raise the heel. Strike, heel, strike, 1, 2, 3, up. Raise the heel, 1, 2, 3, high, and do this motion. So the body are able to do fluctuation. Okay, this is after you develop powerful punch of Makiwara. So first you develop power punch, then you develop negative energy, which is relaxation. And when you put this together, you will have a stunning technique, which cover what it is, yes? There are more to it. Obviously, you're probably familiar with kidney striking and stuff. So that and next motion, so when we reevaluate, you strike, kick, kake, strike, bend, kake, strike, yes? So in bunkai, when opponent kick, punch, spin, and strike motion. So opening his leg, I did its basic level, but I always strike on that. So the striking motion, activate areas, kicking leg, open him to my strike. Single black could be strike, yes? So striking bone, hip bone, rib cage, and it's between the muscle. So this is motion where you strike. I strike with this part. Yes. Now, another way that I learned from Hanshi linguists was a striking in a rib cage area. So in Tomari Seisan, when we have a double block penetration, high, hold on, 1, 2, open. I squeeze from Bubushibu and I strike floating rib cage just below. So it's on the edge of the rib, both sides. If you do it correctly, you can breathe, yes? So this is penetration, hands. 1, 2, open, squeeze, penetrate, open, press, raise it up, high and firm. So basically this is pretty much, I would say, almost over. Face block, low block, face block step. Those are very simple to recover. So opponent step back, hook it up, and now this is my face block. Yes, so groin high, yes, and then the other side, you go strike. So we have face block. Sometimes when we do 1, 2, yes, and a knife hand. So when we have a one hand, other hand, 2, and a knife hand. Sorry. Sorry, okay? No, okay. So what I did was a penetration, the windpipe between and a blood vessels. This was done to me in Philadelphia area, but Teller Dojo. So Taika explained the movement, 45 angles. He changed from the right side to left side, putting me on side, and the strike was done with multiple strikes, which is a torch, penetration, hand change into the fist, and strike hard on the top of the dojo. So he was attacking blood vessels into the jaws point, okay? So look, we just want to share with you this. When Taika passed away, weird thing happened. I was upset at Taika because I was hoping that he's going to share more. He took to his grave a lot. And there was a moment that I was a little bit, not confused, but disappointed, because there's so much that we all can learn from him, you know, so much. Magic time, magic stuff. And he, for this or other reason, was not willing to share it. There was a time that I am at his house in Kansas City, and so Taika, the art that you have, it's amazing, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're the only one in the world who understands and is able to apply. Why don't you? And I said, it doesn't have to be me, but give it to somebody so the art does not go away. And he said, no, you don't need it. You don't live in a wartime like I did. if you use this, you will disgrace my family, you will disgrace by my teaching and my name. So that was his approach. He also explained that there was a part of the art that Wakinaguri sensei took it to the grave because by his standards, he didn't need a change. Everything's changed. Warrior class was eliminated, and there was no need for that knowledge, which is very sad. Because after all, we are here to have that knowledge, to explore, to enjoy, to understand, and look for a weakness of human body. So saying that, I had a dream. So I'm laying in my bed, and I'm going to share that with you. I have maybe 3 glasses of my favorite French wine, and I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden, and I don't know if I'm sleeping or I'm not sleeping, but I think I was sleeping. I am in Bethesda Naval Hospital, and I am testing for some down, let's say, Yondan. And said, Peter, do it Hanshi Shodan. Yes, sir. So I'm going to do Hanshi Shodan. And I know what Hanshi Shodan. God damn it, I know. It's an Hanshi Shodan. I forgot. He said, okay, don't be nervous. Pinan Shodan. Okay, I know Pinan Shodan. I forgot everything. And I feel so shame because I lost it. I lost everything. And he was like 30 feet, maybe sitting on a stool. So I came, I kneeled down, I put my head down without looking at him and said, I apologize. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. And I look at him and I was amazed. He was pure white with a glow around. It was amazing. He was like in heaven, saint, pure spirit. He stood up. I stood up. I look at him like he was the halo shining. And he said, don't worry. Find the most beautiful garden and we will train. That's what he said. And he walked away like, gone. So I awoke myself. I was crying because from that time, my understanding changed, and the movement were coming up, the understanding of what I'm doing were coming up, and I fell in love with this all over again. So that's all. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you got some different approach and that you're going to continue. Don't give up, okay?
Thank you, Peter. That was very good. Just one thing to note that people may not know, above you, behind you is a hakama top and bottom, and those are actually taikas that you have. But thank you.
Yeah, I have a sai of his. He spent years with me, studied the sai. I will show you one. This and this. Okay. So this is a Bethesda Naval Hospital, our international event. And this is where I am still a very handsome guy. And Taika explained Pinyan Shodan, the movement. You see? And then this is very special. That was in my dojo before one of the seminars. I don't remember which one. But he just sit down and start drawing something. I said, Taika, what is this? He said, well, this is the art, training, spirituality. But the true art, and this is what he did, true hand method cannot be explained. It has to come from the many years of training that brain is not controlling. It is controlling in some way, but your body is doing, and you can't explain how did you do the technique. So he said, this is the true art. You can't explain why and how did you do it, but the results are devastating to human body or whatever. So obviously, I cut this off. I framed it, treasure it. For him, that was material to throw to the trash. For me, it's a treasure because he taught me another valuable message, yes? So, do you have any other questions?
Thank you, Peter. Very good. Great, man. Thank you.